It appears we are alive. Appears. I have my doubts sometimes here on Substack, but good morning. Good to see you here. Oh, hi, Jillian. And I think someone else might have snuck in, but I didn't see it on the chat bar. But good morning, good morning. So good to just have a community of people that we are cheering each other on and wishing the best for each other. What a blessing in these challenging times. We have made it through the first full calendar week of 2026, and I'm still maintaining my hope, y'all. I'm still doing my best to hold on to the optimism because, of course, there have just been tragic events continuing to unfold, obfuscation and lies, and just so much disinformation continuing to be spread. It's been a fascinating week to be on social media and see just how many bots that I think are out there right now, just trying to sow the seeds of chaos. And it's not a great vibe for us. So we need to co-create better. And as always, that's why I'm here, just to try and be myself and inspire others to land in themselves so that they can do what they're here to do in the world. So you can do what you're here to do in the world. Just in case this is your first time joining me, I'm Safrianna, a spirit guide. I'm a trauma therapist turned transformational mentor, druidic priestess, author, podcaster, writer, all of the above. And today, all of checks, I'm going to pull collective, and I'm pulling from Gateway of Light again this week because we need these gateways. We need to know what paths that we have open to walk through during these challenging times. So let's just hop to it. Last week, we had all of this star-seeded energy come through, and I ended up talking about all of this energy that was available to us from star helpers, from cosmic beings, from saints and guides. All right, here's what we have this week. So funny that I have this feeling is the Pleiadians, the Venusian Council, and the Arcturians, I believe, last year. And I'm still feeling the the energy potently, but we have some additional help now. And interesting, just kind of looking at this, we do have some help this week. It's a lot of crossroad energy and stepping into ourselves energy. So last week it was like, here's the help. This week it's like, okay, now you get to take action. So the first card is Soul Star Activation. So this beautiful Kaba floating in space. This particular image right here is actually one that I use for divine protection. When I am working with my guide team and I want to make sure that I feel well protected and energized, I imagine myself in one of these Merkabas floating in space, and I allow my team to help me recharge what I call my beacon, my battery, my battery of protection. And so I offer that practice to you as we have the soul star activation, because the soul star activation is really, it's an activation occurring between our crown and the heavens or the cosmos or the other realms, whatever you want to call them. And this is about really fulfilling our soul contracts. And that makes me think of what we're here to do, what is uniquely ours to do, and remembering who you are. Oh my gosh, this is such a time to remember who we are and to stand in the power of who we are, because it can feel very scary to be ourselves when we see people being attacked literally for existing and for just being themselves, right? And it is more essential than ever that we not give into fear, that we not hide and run away if we have the capacity to show up. I spent all of 2025 in fear, and I keep getting messages for 2026. It's like, no fear, just shine your light and show up and do what is yours to do. And this card is really emphasizing that. What is your unique design? What is your blueprint? Remember who you are. not who society taught you to be, not what your parents wanted for you, or coaches or guides or whatever, but who do you see yourself as? Remember that on a soul level. And the next card is angelic frequency. So here's our additional helpers. And so this card is really just reminding us that we all have that team of seen and unseen help and assistance and support. And your angels, I view the word angel as I do think that there are angelic entities. Excuse me. I do think that there are beings of an angelic realm or frequency. But I often see angels as synonymous with our personal guides. Many of us have a guardian angel. Okay, all of us have a guardian angel or primary guide. That guide might not be an angel entity, but I think most of us have had that experience of feeling like we have a guardian angel over our shoulder, or we grew up with that belief, or maybe even had an imaginary friend, quote unquote, who was actually a primary guide. And so this angelic frequency card is reminding us to tune back into who our guides, our personal team of helpers are. And this card literally is reminding us you are safe. So going back to what I was just saying, it feels very frightening during this sort of tumultuous time to be ourselves. This is urging us to remember that we are supported, we are seen, we are safe. Keep showing up and doing what you're here to do. The potent connection of your connection to your guides, to your angels, to your ancestors is available to you if you choose to tune in. And then finally, and this is, so interesting within the other cards of the spread, but we have the Akashic Stargate. First of all, just look at these beautiful stargates with all of their different paths. And this is ultimately reminding us that there is no wrong path as long as we are aligned with purpose. So I see that so much in today's reading is remembering who you are, knowing you're supported and safe, and that you get to do what's yours to do. And that, yes, we are at a crossroads. I perceive this crossroads in this sort of collective way. Collectively, we're at major crossroads. We're looking out and wondering, like, how the hell do I orient my life right now? I've been having a lot of how do I keep running a business when this is what's happening in the world? How do I keep making time for my writing when this is what's happening in the world? This card is really reminding us that we need to walk the path forward, that at a crossroads, we have a decision to make. We don't stand still for forever. So, though we might pause and take a breath and assess what path is right for us next, the path is not staying frozen and stagnant and stuck. The path is moving forward. There's all these options, there's all of these gateways to walk through. Right. So there is no wrong choice as long as you are aligned with your purpose. So that's your keyword there is purpose. And purpose doesn't have to be some grand, this is my life's purpose I need to work toward. Your purpose now can be something that is more localized, right? Your purpose can be to be community anchor. Your purpose can be to be a creator. Your purpose can be holding space. Your purpose can be healing. Your purpose can be playing. But what is aligned with something purposeful for you, intentional, moving forward this time? So that is what the Akashic Stargate is saying. So, again, for a recap of today's vibe check, we have soul star activation, reminding us to be who we are, to remember the power and the potency of who we are, and fulfill. So we all have soul contracts with other people, animals, tasks, jobs, purposes. And there's an opportunity to fulfill some of those right now. The angels are watching over us, your ancestors, your guides, your guardians, your team, your unseen team, hopefully felt. They really want you to know that you are safe to keep moving forward at this time. And then Akashic Stargate reminding us that there are many paths to choose from. None of them are wrong as long as they are aligned with you and your unique purpose. So that's our vibe these cards landed well for you. And now I will pivot into my little personal update. So let's see. There's actually quite a few big things coming down the pike. One just completely personal update. We have the house back on the market. It went back up on the market yesterday and has already been shown once. That family wasn't interested, but we have two more today, one more today, one more tomorrow. So two more this week so far. And I'm hoping more will line up and that soon that house will be moving on into the hands of a new family. So like, yeah, womp womp, but also yay, because then we found out two more were booked. So let's all hold the vision that that house sells soon, because gosh, I sure would love all of my spoons, my literal figurative spoons back into my drawer so that I can have energy to do my purpose and mission. This week, Letters of Legacy is launching. And that is an anthology book with the same publisher that I did Shadow Alchemy, Soul Alchemy, and Raising Wild Ones with. So Letters of Legacy is coming out from House of Indigo in just 2 days. It's coming out on Wednesday. As far as I am aware, unless there's any holdup on the back end, it should be launched on Wednesday. And I wrote about my druid journey and stepping into that and some of the symbolism behind that. So I am super excited to launch that. I will be promoting it all through, the end of the week. And then coming up at the end of the month to honor that and kind of have like a little launch party, good juju, amping up the energy event. I am doing an acorn portal. It is on a Sunday. I believe it's the 26th, but I will make sure that links are down below. Okay, I think it's the 25th now that I'm looking at a schedule, because the 26th is a Monday. And I'm pretty sure it's a Sunday. But we will be doing an activation, a guided meditation. I'll read little snippets from my chapter, talk about my druid journey, and hopefully have some more exciting invitations for those of you who join. And then the last thing I want to mention that's coming up is Imulg. So the seasonal shenanigans, we last year were selling a bundle at the end of the year that was just going to run through October of this year. So it was winter solstice to Samhain, 2025 to 2026. We have decided that everybody who's already signed up is getting winter solstice of this year too. So it's running all the way through the end of the calendar year. But anyone who signs up for the seasonal shenanigans bundle between now and February 1st, which is our next ritual for Imulg, also gets the butterfly method course plus a live immersion with me for 4 weeks, where we will dive through the steps of the butterfly method together and do some communal shadow work, our self shadow work in community. And every time that I've done this, it's just been so potent. I ran through it at the end of last year into the beginning of this year and was working on some of my addiction energy, and it just so good. I go back to my own program all the time. Take that for what it is. But those are the big things. Like, so selling, let's give good vibes there. The book launch, the Acorn event, which is live free on YouTube. Anybody can tune in and watch. I've got the seasonal shenanigans, first of the year, Imulg ritual coming up on February 1st, followed by everything in the bundle, the immersion. And then we'll see what comes down the pipeline after that. But I'm very, very excited. This week, we are sitting down to really do the back end work on the community that I'm building. I have chosen my software. I have started to put the spaces together. So expect invitations for that community coming up here soon. Very excited. Oh, good. I'm glad you've got the 2500 calendar. If you're following me on YouTube, you should be able to see that event over there as well. And you can always follow the little notifications to make sure you get notified when we go live and all that good stuff. But always excited to have you. So, my friends, despite the darkness in the world, and trust me, I hold it every day. I hold the chaos and the pain and suffering with compassion. and attempt to do what I can do and stay anchored in who I am so that I can continue to show up, because it really, really is easy to give into despair right now. So if you're feeling that way, I just want you to know you're not alone, that you are seen. I see you, I believe in you, and I'm cheering you on as always. And if you need support, if you need community, I am here. So please do not give up. Please do not give up hope. Know that you have the capacity within you to work on your stuff, and the purpose and the meaning and the work beyond you comes from there. It comes from within. So don't feel like you have to be doing everything that everyone else is doing, or that you have to stay as appraised of every situation as everyone else, but do what you can to do what is yours to do. All right. I love you all so much. I will see you back here next week for another vibe check, but there's a very good chance I will be live later this week to talk about the book or any other number of things going on in the world, and or do some writing now that I'm not scrubbing the other house. Cross. All right, my friends. Love you. Bye for now.